We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it. Our ambitions don't fit into headlines or highlight reels. So if you thought we arrived,
2 more for Boston.
now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.
Caitlin Clark didn't just hit the weight room this offseason. Apparently, neither did the Indiana Fever's marketing department, because they've come out swinging harder than anyone expected. In the past few days, the Fever dropped their newest media blitz, Now You Know, and subtlety? Yeah, they tossed that out the window. This isn't just a campaign. It's a mic drop moment.
We love to see a good clapback, right? And no one does that better than Caitlin Clark.
The Indiana Fever are taking no prisoners this season, and they have just launched their new marketing campaign with the tagline, Now You Know.
Let's be blunt. The Fever have had enough. They're done smiling politely while the rest of the WNBA pretends Caitlin Clark isn't the league's biggest draw. They're done letting the league push bland, watered-down narratives that ignore who's really packing the seats and driving the headlines. This campaign is as close to a declaration of dominance as you'll find, and it's laced with attitude. The message is loud and clear. Indiana is the epicenter of women's basketball now, and if that bothers you, then good. And if you're part of the Fever revolution, comment Fever Show down below. Let's go.
Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate.
The Now You Know rollout is not a shy whisper. It's an in-your-face, bold celebration of what every basketball fan already understands. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever aren't just part of the conversation. They are the conversation. If you've been keeping up with the snide remarks and subtle digs thrown at Clark and her supporters over the last year, then this new approach feels like payback served cold. And fans, they're here for it.
Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is. It's too late to be scared.
When I first saw the new campaign, my mind immediately flashed to that legendary monologue from Christopher Walken in Pool Hall Junkies. You know the one, the lion, king of the jungle, keeps quiet while the hyenas yap and the jackals pick at scraps. Until finally, the lion wakes up, and it's carnage.
I saw this thread on Twitter. I was shocked by it. I was pleasantly shocked and surprised. I thought it was so cool and so savage.
That, in a nutshell, is what's happening with Indiana. All last year, they were clearly the biggest draw in the league. Nearly half the WNBA's broadcast value came from Fever games. Teams moved their matchups into NBA arenas just to host Caitlin. But how did the league and the media respond? With disrespect, passive-aggressive shots, and endless downplaying of Clark's impact.
And that's the worst part of all this, is the new fans are sucking the life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the truth. You are right. You are right, new fans. There has never been more viewership because of Caitlin Clark. There's never been more attention. They're doing 40 minutes on First Take about Caitlin Clark. They never did that before, as Monica McNutt called out.
The Fever took it on the chin for a while. They didn't fight back right away.
You're right. But you know what there was in the WNBA last year and the years prior? There was other storylines. There was joy. There was talk of competition. There was talk of what was actually happening on the court.
They kept it professional, but not anymore. That silence is over. The passive era? Dead. This year, nearly every single Fever game is being broadcast nationally. Their preseason tickets vanished in minutes. 15,000 gone just like that. And with Stephanie White now coaching and a roster fully stacked around Caitlin Clark, this team isn't just relevant. They're championship hungry. They're loaded. They're ready. And they're not asking for permission anymore.
And it's such a stark difference from what we saw from the Indiana Fever and essentially the entire WNBA last season. I feel like the Indiana Fever last season were a team that just went to work, didn't say much, just let their on-court play speak for itself. Like, they were at the center of all of the drama within the WNBA. Like, everybody was coming after the Indiana Fever and coming after their fans, and they really just didn't say a word.
This pushback from Indiana isn't half-measured or cautious. It's full volume, unapologetic, and calculated. Now You Know isn't some corny marketing stunt. It's a declaration of war on mediocrity. It's Indiana standing up and saying, we're not just here to participate, we're here to take over.
Some say we arrive because the world knows our name. Now you know, that was never the destination. From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness, we're here to claim it.
The newest campaign video is pure fire. It drips with swagger. Last season's tame PR strategy has been replaced with raw energy, owning every ounce of hype without flinching. This isn't just about defending Caitlyn from media slander anymore. This is Indiana grabbing the spotlight with both hands and refusing to let go. They're saying, we're not waiting for validation. We are the standard. And if you thought they were going to be polite about it, think again.
Road games sound like home games, and our fan base doesn't ask for permission to show up and dominate.
Our road games sound like home games. That's not just clever copywriting. That's a jab right at every other team that wishes they had the kind of crowd Fever games pull in. It's a reminder that wherever Caitlyn Clark plays, the building belongs to Indiana. And when they say, be unapologetic, it's a direct middle finger to the gatekeepers who've tried to shame fans for being too new, too loud, or not W enough. They're telling those fans to stand tall and keep standing.
And they just decided to lean into it. They're like, oh yeah? Our fans are loud. So what? Now what? Now you know.
No. You're right, because the backlash was stupid. It was stupid. A bunch of crybaby bullies is how I refer to them. A bunch of crybaby bullies who are either crying or trying to bully you around their crying. Crybaby bullied their way around the Fever all last year when the Indiana Fever, specifically Caitlyn Clark, is the best thing that's ever happened to women's basketball, the WNBA, and really women's sports in general. And anyone who says otherwise is out of their mind.
And the beauty of it all? Every word is backed up by facts. This campaign is a love letter to the Fever faithful. Those fans who packed arenas, bought jerseys, set viewership records, and were still told they weren't real WNBA supporters. For a year, they were mocked, dismissed, and condescended to. Now, they're being celebrated as the league's MVP. This isn't just about marketing. It's about rewriting the narrative. The Fever are turning the hate into a badge of honor. They're owning it, wearing it, and weaponizing it.
Now, what I also think is hilarious is that they took that a step further. So if you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, every game is a home game. And then on the back, it says, now you know, with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt and it says every game is a home game.
This all reminds me of what the Carolina Hurricanes did a few years ago in the NHL. Another team dismissed by the establishment until they said, fine, we'll just be loud and win anyway. That's exactly the vibe coming out of Indiana. And let's talk about that savage social media post of Caitlyn Clark breaking JC Sheldon's ankles. That wasn't just funny. It was a shot across the bow. It was bold, ruthless, and hilarious. The kind of viral content that tells everyone, we're not scared to ruffle feathers. This isn't just a basketball team anymore. It's a movement.
These two went up against one another through college, and then when they got to the WNBA, JC Sheldon was the player who was guarding Caitlyn Clark. It seems like these two players, maybe they don't like each other, but when they go up against one another, there is trash talk, it gets physical, it's always just like a sight to see. JC Sheldon doesn't even play for the Wings anymore, but they use this, and people who know about this get invested because, like, okay, that was a choice. That was a choice to use this photo. And
Sure, some old school WNBA fans are going to get their feelings hurt. They liked it better when everyone held hands and sang, "We are the world" at center court. But let's be real. This is professional sports. Competition sells, swagger sells. And right now, nobody is selling out like the Indiana Fever. Here's what the rest of the league needs to understand. This isn't just ego. It's elevation. When Indiana rises, the bar rises with them, and they're daring everyone else to rise too. Don't like the noise? Then show up louder. Don't like the wins? Then beat them. The Fever are calling their shot and backing it up.
And things like this, if you're an Indiana Fever fan, you get super excited about something like this. If you're not an Indiana Fever fan, if you're, say, a New York Liberty fan or a Las Vegas Aces fan, this riles you up even more. So when you are going to these games where they are playing against the Indiana Fever, you are going to be more excited, more just amped up to see this. There are more rivalries, and the competitive nature of these games are heightened because of little things like this.
The Indiana Fever aren't just showing up this season. They're taking over, and they're making absolutely sure everyone knows it. With 41 national TV slots locked in, and NBA arenas scrambling to make space when Indiana comes to town, it's not just a big deal, it's a full-on power play. And now, fueled by a fearless new tone, the Fever are embracing the target on their backs. They're fine with being everyone's biggest test. Actually, they're daring the league to bring it on. They know what's coming. Every team circling their games in red, gunning to take them down. And the Fever aren't hiding from it. They're walking into the fire with swagger, not asking for cheers or friendship. They're simply saying, try and stop us. And truthfully, that's the kind of energy women's basketball has needed for a long time.
And then here we have today, basically clapping back at all of that and proving that they know that they are the moment, they are the Showtime team, they are the biggest team currently in the WNBA. This kind of stuff is not only good for the Indiana Fever, it's good for the entire WNBA.
Sure, there'll be pushback. The usual voices will pop up, saying the Fever are being arrogant or stepping outside the usual bounds of league culture. But here's the truth. This is how sports evolve. It's rivalries, it's drama, it's dominant teams getting booed in enemy arenas and then using it as fuel. This kind of confidence doesn't just help Indiana. It lifts the entire WNBA, because every league needs a lightning rod, a team that draws emotion and eyeballs. Indiana is that team now, and they're running with it unapologetically. From what we're seeing at training camp, that confidence is backed by real firepower. Caitlin Clark looks like she's already in mid-season takeover mode, launching logo threes like they're layups. Natasha Howard is turning the paint into a no-fly zone, sending shots back like she's on commission. But more than the highlights, it's the execution, the sharpness, the cohesion, the deliberate way this team is working that signals something bigger is coming. They're not just back, they're better in every possible way. Sophie Cunningham might be the offseason's secret weapon. She's not flashy, she's just effective. Shoots when needed, defends with heart, and gets in the face of anyone too comfortable. She's that tough, glue-type player championship teams need. The Fever didn't just add depth, they added grit.
Yo, we cannot be short on that pass. We can't be short on that pass. One advantage that we have is that we're long as right? So now we got to use our length. So don't make yourself small.
Then there's Stephanie White, the tone setter, the culture builder. From the moment she walked into that locker room, you could feel the shift. Last year's chaos? Gone. What we see now is a team with a plan, a system, a voice, and everyone's bought in. You don't see miscommunication, you don't see panic. You see a team that knows who they are and what they're trying to build.
Good job! Great rotation! Good! Good! Right? So you gotta listen. You don't go until she says go. Yeah, she could stay. Yep, as soon as she says go, that's when you're going.
And if defense was last season's Achilles heel, this year's version looks ready to flip the script. Early footage shows tighter rotations, better anticipation, and players covering for each other like they've been teammates for years. The sloppiness is gone, replaced by structure and intent. Enter DeWanna Bonner. Not just a veteran, but a force. Her leadership shows up in every drill, every scrimmage, every sideline moment. She's teaching, anchoring, guiding. In a locker room filled with rising stars, she's the steady compass that keeps the ship pointed north.
What stands out to me is the way that everyone has spoken about DeWanna Bonner. Of course, the veteran, WNBA legend, champion, all-star, multiple times, versatile player, can defend, has length, knows how to score, and brings leadership to the locker room. She's talked about wanting to be a voice that the other players listen to. Kelsey Mitchell said they got the best vet in the world. And then Caitlin Clark said they want to win for DeWanna Bonner. When she speaks, they listen.
This group feels like a true unit. Despite the media's attempts to stir up locker room friction drama around Caitlin Clark's fame, there's none to be found. What you see instead is trust, joy, focus. Every player seems locked in, and it's clear they're all aiming at the same target, winning. The hype is fueling them, not fracturing them. And don't think it's just Fever fans seeing it. Across the league, even the biggest skeptics are starting to shift. Take the newly named Women's Hoop Show, for example. Formerly the Queens of the Court pod featuring Cheryl Swoops had no issue taking shots last season. Now that she's fired, the newly rebranded show has acknowledged what's brewing in Indiana. The change is that obvious.
Only good can come out of a Stephanie White run team with Caitlin Clark. Like, I just think this is a perfect pair. And not only are they going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to make a deep run. Autumn, I know we were high on them. Are you still as high on them as we were from free agency?
I'm not switching up. I'm standing 10 toes down. I really feel like the Indiana Fever are a championship contender, considering the fact all the pieces they brought over.
This could be a defining year not just for Indiana, but for the WNBA itself. And the roadmap is simple. Don't mess it up. The league has one job: embrace the wave without undercutting it. Don't let bitter media voices or legacy egos tear down the fans that are literally keeping this engine running. The Fever's Now You Know campaign is more than marketing. It's strategy. It's the blueprint for how to win off the court, too. It's not divisive, it's directive. They're owning their success, they're welcoming the moment, and they're bringing fans with them. That's how you build a movement.
Of course, we have the Indiana Fever being that premier team in the WNBA. They are the team that has the most fans. Like they said, every away game turns into a home game. Like, they know that they have that fan base.
Because that's what this is now, a movement. Every packed arena, every viral highlight, every spike in ratings is part of something much bigger than one player or one team. Caitlin Clark lit the spark, and the Indiana Fever are turning it into a wildfire. This isn't just a bounce-back year, it's a level-up moment, a seismic shift, and the rest of the league has two options: catch up or get left behind. So get loud, wear your colors, and don't apologize for cheering your face off. The Fever aren't here to play it safe. They're here to lead a revolution. And the WNBA? They should be sending thank you cards. Because the Indiana Fever aren't just carrying the spotlight, they're making sure the whole league gets seen. If you're part of the Fever revolution, comment Fever Show down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.